Hello, I'm Get the Cans, and I'm back on the internet. After a couple weeks, maybe 3 or 4 weeks, after I've moved, I finally got the internet back. It took me a really long time, and it was a big pain in my ass, but sometimes things just get that way. Anyways, on to business. I am currently trying to learn about the processes of brainwashing that the cult uses on their members. As far as I'm concerned, it's probably the strongest angle in order to get anyone to have any action against them, aside from the hysterics attached to things as outrageous as the allegations of rape and murder and killing and suicides and all the other bad stuff that goes along with it. Not to say that that stuff isn't bad, but when somebody who is, asking me questions on the street needs some answers as to, what makes them a cult, I'd really like to be able to identify those points. Because there's a lot of organizations out there that is associated with death and other things like that, and fraud, financial fraud. It's nothing new. Financial fraud is a terrible thing, and they shouldn't be doing it, but they're not the only ones doing it, so I was trying to find something that would make them stick out a little more and make them a little more unique. I figured that brainwashing seemed like a strong enough topic because it's something that a lot of people are very uncomfortable with. The idea that you can go into a situation that's completely controlled by them, and then they basically work their mojo on you, and eventually you become, instead of the person you were, you become a Scientologist. As Jason Begay has wonderfully put, that when a person joins Scientology, they are not being Scientology, they are not themselves, who believe in Scientology. They are Scientologists. It's like a separate entity, which is true enough considering that their minds are no longer their own. I really would have to do a lot more research before I state any of the specifics of what I've found, but a lot of what I've learned is that that a lot of that stuff that I learned about, it makes sense. Repetitive actions, a lot of physical exertion. You don't have time to think, and because you don't have time to think, and because they're always telling you how to think, it makes an impression on you after a while, and you just become one of them. You don't even think about thinking, and you just become a Scientologist, and that's pretty much the way it is, and it's tragic. Another thing I'd like to take a note on is it's good that there's a lot more news out there as far as against Scientology, is concerned. Being against Scientologists myself, I really like the idea that people out there are getting even more informed. Although some of the news and information out there may not be exactly as accurate as some other anonymous people have pointed out. It does actually create some kind of an interest, playing on natural curiosity of people. They hear about something and they get kind of curious. It's just like when I heard about this anonymous thing, I looked it up and I investigated for myself, and although I don't actually belong to Anonymous, I do agree enough with their methods that I will support them and use them to my own ends too, which are essentially, our ends are the same as far as I know, right? But anyways, I'm gonna cut this short. Just really glad that I've got the internet back. It's a lot more fun to be at home, and yeah, it's a lot better. Final words. Let's see. Brainwashing is bad. Yeah, brainwashing is bad. I think I'll go with that. Brainwashing is bad, okay?